Welcome everybody to TruExact Show. I'm here with Dan, Brian, and Eric, and our special guest today is Frak the Rapper, also a person. Got to throw that in there. How you doing, man? Just want to say thanks for coming on. Hope you're staying safe right now.
I'm good, man. I'm feeling like a person again. I've been a rapper for the last month, so it's good to return to humanity. You feel me?
Now, before we get into your music, I have to explain how Frack and I kind of got in touch. So, and this is a true story, 100% true. So, after we interviewed Ilmac and Chase Moore, I delved into Frack's music and when he battled Thesaurus recently. So, I texted Brian. I was like, hey, the dude Frack, check out his music. We should try to get him on. So this had to be like July or August, and Brian was like, yeah, definitely. Like, let's message him eventually, like in a couple weeks or something. So we had our Shark Week. So we decided to delve into like, let's try aliens. All right, let's go into aliens. So I Google top alien scientist or something, and I get Dr. Fracknoy from San Fran, I want to say, some college, a professor, that he commented on an alien report. It was me not doing that much research, just kind of, right, just kind of like, oh, I guess he commented. So I emailed him, good afternoon, Dr. Fracknoy, we want to touch on some aliens, your thoughts on it. So he emails me back and says, this isn't my my what's it called?
Specialty.
Specialty, yeah, this isn't my specialty. However, I see you've had a hip-hop artist on. My son is a hip-hop artist named Frak. He does battles. He makes political cartoons. I could reach out to him. So I email your dad back, and I go, I'm pretty sure like we follow each other on Instagram or something, but we have reached out to him. So I messaged you, and you were like, this is fucking wild. My dad just told me this whole story. How did he tell you? Was he just like, these fucking idiots messaged me?
No, well, see, the thing about my dad, right, is like, he has a guilt. He has a Jewish guilt that he hasn't been able to serve me with nepotism because he has no connections to the music world, you know. So he's always wanted to, you know, help my career, but he has no idea how because he's so removed from it. So as soon as he got an email from a hip hop podcast, he's like, "Oh, this is it. I'm gonna hook my son up." Like, it's so funny. My manager and like set me up on a play day with y'all. Fucking cracked me up.
A lot of Jewish people in the hip hop. A lot of hip hop.
True.
Yeah.
He's so disconnected though, but that's an amazing story, bro.
It's so fucking crazy. Like the odds of that are insane. And that's why like we'll get to the Diz battle. I'm actually glad he mentioned your dad was a scientist because I didn't want to like be like, I wonder if he wants that known or whatever. But now that the cat's out of the bag, the story was fun to tell. So Frack, before we get into your battle and stuff, like we always reach into that with the artists we have on, but I really like to delve into the past of you guys. I find it fascinating how you get into battling, how you decided to actually go onto stage. But first, how did you get into rap music in general, and like who were your influences?
Man, it's an interesting story, but like really I've always been like a fan of hip hop. I started like when I was like in 7th grade when I was like discovering the internet for the first time, and I was like a huge fan of Kanye. I was on a site called KanyeTalk.com, and it was just a bunch of like anonymous people on the internet talking about how cool Kanye was. And there was a little subsection called Creative Talk where a bunch of people would make music and like try our own hand at it. And there were all these dope ass kids making music on there. I was like 13, 14, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this shit myself. Making like the worst music ever, like terrible, like overly conscious music that I had no idea what I was talking about. There was another 13-year-old on there called Ian Mackin, who was also like, us two were like the laughing stocks of the Kanye Talk community, but our voices hadn't dropped, our balls hadn't dropped, we were still just terrible, but we collaborated a lot and kind of kept hustling at it. And then this kid Ian Mackin started a collective when he was like maybe 15, asked me to be a part of it. I was at the point I was like, I can't do this like you know, Kanye Talk thing anymore. I gotta like make real friends and like, you know, meet girls and stuff. So I respectfully declined. that collective went on to become Brockhampton, which is like one of the biggest hip hop collectives in the world right now, like touring worldwide, playing Coachella and shit. And a lot of those dudes are like OGs from that Kanye Talk forum. So the moral of the story is stay on the internet.
Was it like a message board? Because when we started rapping, like in 03, 04, it was a battle forum. Like it was a lot of text battling, right? Is that what it kind of was?
Yeah, it was like that, but not battling. It was like collaboration and making stuff. But then once I kind of got off the internet, I started working with this organization called Youthspeaks, which was just throwing a lot of like hip hop and poetry slams and competitions for underserved youth around the Bay Area. And then when I was like 14, 15, I did the MC Olympics. It was their first little like MC competition, and I won. And then from then on, I would kind of like started actually rapping in real life and freestyling and doing stuff from there. And then I ended up working for Youthspeaks like years later, like throwing those same MC Olympics competition for kids all over the Bay Area. So it came full circle for me.
That's really cool, man. How'd your scientist dad take it when you said like you wanted to be, you decided to pursue it?
Yeah, I mean, my dad is like really more than like he's not a doctor. He's like a teacher. You know what I mean? He's a strong teacher. So in many ways, like I always tell him this, and he laughs. But in many ways, I feel like our careers aren't that different because he's just on stage every day performing for people and like getting information across. You know what I mean? And that's really what music, especially hip hop, is about. Like making a crowd laugh, like emceeing. Freestyling, thinking off the top of your head. My dad does some of that in his astronomy lectures. But, my dad's always been, like, pretty supportive, even though he may not understand it. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, man. I want to pass around. Dan, you have anything? Yep. Brian?
Yeah, when did you know that, music was the thing that you really wanted to do? Like, when was that point? Like, let's say you were in like a competition or something like that where like you may have like spit something and been like, this is what I got. This is what I'm here for. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was that MC Olympics competition when I was 15. Cause it's like, you have this hobby that you practice at home in the mirror and shit. But then when like you're there in like a super like multicultural room and like they had like people like Zion I and Big Rich and like big Bay Area names as the judges and they're co-signing you and that translates to the real world. I think in that moment I was like, dude, this is like the perfect art form to like express myself and pursue it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Now, I read online too that you did stand up too.
Is that true? I didn't know that about myself.
It's a crazy place, man. Stay out.
Are you guys comedians?
Brian.
Stand up.
Not professionally, but I like to make people laugh.
I mean, I consider myself a comedian, like with the skits. I do a lot of skits, and like I'm always like thinking comically, and even these like rap cartoons have been like kind of like comedy writing, but I've never tried stand up before.
Even like your videos and stuff have like that like kind of like sense of humor and stuff too, which I really appreciate.
I wanted to say that Dan touched on it. I think that, and this is a compliment, I think you'd be perfect for like an SNL. I really do. I think you and Roan have very unique personalities. Like I know Roan's on Barstools and does those skits and stuff, but like you guys to me are like the same type of personality. You're no matter what you guys do, it's entertainment to you first. Like you just want to go out there and entertain. So I really find that cool about your videos and stuff. And I want to touch on one of your videos. But before that, what changed from 13 to 15? Like you said, you did the Olympics at 15, but you were horrible at 13. Like what changed in the 2 years? The bar structures, just the rhyming abilities?
Yeah, I mean, I was still trash at 15. Don't get it twisted. Okay. I just less trash than everyone else in that competition. But I think, just like listen, like also just like delving deep into rap music. Like when I was 13, I was only like I was listening to like Kanye West, like Graduation. You know what I mean? Like hip hop history had already taken its course. So in those 2 years, I was able to travel back, listen to like discover people like MF Doom and like Tribe Called Quest and like Wu-Tang and all that shit that like, you know, inspired me and pushed my pen in different ways, you know what I'm saying? And then just practicing, like becoming a freestyler, and you know, Youthspeaks gave me a community to meet people who were just like different than me and who had like different takes, and like collaborating with different MCs. Like the Bay is a very like dope multicultural place where you can just kind of meet all types of different kids, and that was also part of it, you feel me?
No, that's really cool, man.
With like the cartoons and stuff, like were you like involved with that back then, or is this like a newer thing that you're doing now?
The cartoons are brand new. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's like, I mean, Ilmac kind of started this genre of like rap cartoons, like Dog vs. Cat,
Oh, yeah.
vs. Mustard.
Yeah.
And then I was approached by my homie who's like writing this rap musical, and he hit me up to help him like write it, and like he's also like, we did like a cryptocurrency rap battle for like we were just been like hired to do rap battles, and one person really wanted us to write rap battles about the election, and you know, about and trying to kind of strategically reach people in the center right, center left, who like may not know where to vote, and kind of like make cartoons about that, and kind of like almost like the same way that Russians colluded for Trump, like do it the other way around, you feel me? So we got hit up by people to do that, and I hit up Ilmac and Pass and B-Dot and a few other battle rappers to kind of hop on that and turn them into cartoons, and it was kind of history from there.
I was gonna say, because your background right now, I mean, all that artwork, I thought you were just like into that from the beginning, man.
Oh, I'm actually like quarantining in my family friend's house. This isn't even my career. It does look pretty dope.
He just stole all the paintings from his friend and put them.
I'm gonna borrow these. I got a podcast soon.
Hey, do you secretly wish? Just say no comment. Do you secretly wish that you know who wins the election, just so you got more funny cartoons to make for the next 4 years? No comment.
Honestly, like him getting COVID, I was like, the only thing that I felt was feelings of positivity. I guess so did he. But like, it was just like gonna be great. But you know, I don't know, because I mean, obviously, no, I don't secretly wish it, because it has such a terrible effect on so many people. But I'd be excited for him to lose and pivot to making fun of Biden and making fun of you know, establishment Democrats, because I feel like we're just being so Trump biased. Like we're not even like making fun of Biden and Kamala and this whole like Nancy Pelosi branch of the Democrats the way that we could. You know what I mean?
I just have to take.
Even if Biden wins, you're gonna get so much material from that. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's gonna find something. There's never gonna be a moment where it's like, wow, this guy is really like straight edge. I mean, you know, there'll always be something.
And
Really not anymore. We're never gonna have like a straight edge candidate ever. You can't after all this. You're gonna have two guys. Hello,
It was The Rock.
how are you? It's just boring.
And this is just proof that we are not right or left wing, no matter what people say about us as a podcast. We are down the fucking middle. You know, with full disclosure, we had some guy on. I love the guy, V Scripts, and we talked about the protests. And like we had a great conversation. And then like he posted on his story, I was just on some right wing podcast, and I was like, what? I was like, how are we a right wing podcast?
Yeah.
Like,
He's a right wing.
we can laugh at it all. Make fun of Trump, make fun of Biden. I don't give a fuck. The cartoons are funny, regardless what you're doing. I enjoy them. How did it feel to get retweeted by Judd Apatow, though? How the fuck did that, like?
Wow. That's
Well, first of all, I just want to say I really appreciate being featured on this white supremacist podcast.
You're our first Jewish guest.
Hey.
It was cool, man. It was cool. Like a lot of eyes have seen it that I would never like. It's so like Ilmac's cat vs. dog cartoons blew up in battle rap. You know, machine of battle rap. But this shit we've been making is so outside of that. Like the Lincoln Project and Judd Apatow and like a bunch of like celebrities that you would never think would have seen that. And yeah, I'm a super big fan of him. So it was cool, you know, that his mind could see how our minds worked. You know what I mean? Like it's cool watching it through his eyes. You feel me?
With how polarizing the world is now with politics, you know how it is. Did you get any comments back Like, have you gotten any comments? Used to be a fan, man, but I'm done now. I'm not watching these battles, bro. Fucking snowflake. Did you get any of them?
Low key from both sides, which was
Right?
amazing. Like
Wow.
I low key got more from the left because
Really?
Lincoln Project is kind of a center right, like kind of like Republicans against Trump, and they're who like posted it because we're trying to reach like people in the center.
Right,
You know what I mean? So they hit me up. I mean, my leftist friends hit me up like, how could you work with the Lincoln Project? Like, you know, they're just trying to gain power for the right, like whatever, like blah, blah, blah. And then like all my like Republican battle rap fans are like, yeah, you're fucking canceled, bro. Like, you don't get it. Like, so it's just like, no matter what, it's going to piss off some people. And we went in knowing that and honestly made it better.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Like, can you imagine caring that much to like stop listening? Oh, you're a huge fan of Kanye, right? I'm sure you don't align with him at all politically.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like going back and not listening to like Graduation because you know what I mean? Like it's just
He
separate.
likes Trump now, so I don't like his awesome albums 10, 15 years ago.
I mean, it sucks, but you got to separate the two at some point, at least a little bit, man.
Yeah.
But really quick before we get into battle rap, Rick Moranis, buddy, what the hell? You made a song called Rick Moranis, and the guy got punched in the face. That's the weirdest thing in 2020.
Yeah,
that is, yeah.
that might be the weirdest. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's all album promo, man. I set that shit up, you know what I mean?
You paid the guy in New York to punch this guy.
Paid him
Accept this.
Yeah, paid him in 2 hot dogs and a 40 to go beat him up.
Funny because Rick Moranis was not even like my first choice to name that song, but I just like because the song's about ghosting and like getting ghosted. Being a ghoster is kind of like about, you know, failed romantic relationships in many senses. And I thought about who to name that after, and I eventually just landed on Rick Moranis because he was in Ghostbusters. But like it's like a super like vague connection. But I just am such a fan of the guy. I thought it'd be funny, and I want to like make merch of his face and shit. So when this shit happens, I'm like,
you might have a bloody face now on a T-shirt. You might want to wait a little bit.
And when 2 people mutually ghost each other, that's Halloween. Go ahead and use that one.
Oh God! Don't.
I made that up one day, and I was like, "That's creative. When could I ever use that?" I don't know. Podcast in front of a bunch of people who don't appreciate it. But anyway,
So that guy is not the stand-up guy. It's the other dude.
I'm working out my material.
No, but I guess you're right. You went with Rick Moranis. A song called Dan Aykroyd just wouldn't have went off the tongue at all. So why did you pick these songs? Like Macaulay Culkin, Rick Moranis, Judge Judy. Why do you go with this like style?
Yeah, that's a good question. This album, my last album I put out was called LimeWire 03.
Yeah.
I was happy with it, but I felt like it didn't have like a cohesiveness about it. Like I released big singles that kind of like I had a song called Draymond, which like did well. Like I got to play it during the Warriors game, which was really cool. The Warriors final game, and I kind of like based my success off Draymond. I was like, okay, people like a song that's kind of tied to a personality, and I was like, let me try this for a whole project and kind of not make it literal. Like Draymond was kind of like a literal song, but like Rick Moranis abstract, like Macaulay Culkin. Judge Judy's a song about judgmental people. Like I have a song called Aubrey Plaza about like liking women who are mean to you, and like a song Chameleonaire, like about being a social chameleon. So like thinking of abstract ways to relate it to B-list celebrities while also giving the project like a cohesion where you can relate every song to itself, and the aesthetics and visuals can all be kind of tied together. You feel me?
And after this podcast, keep in tune because when I Venmo Frak money, there'll be a hidden track called Scott on the album, and he raps about some podcast hosts. You know, it's gonna be a great time.
D-list celebrities coming soon.
D-list
Have any of them responded to you? Like, have any of them tweeted you or anything like thanks? Like Judge Judy's like, big up, big up.
I honestly should have chose like more accessible celebrities so that could happen, but I'm hearing that I have a song on the album. There's an exclusive, but it's featuring Zion I, who's like the person I'm releasing the album through, like big Bay Area icon I'm a fan of, and we made a song together called Gilbert Godfrey, and I think someone knows Gilbert Godfrey, and he's going to be able to listen to the song and react to it. So I'm hyped for that.
That's gettable. I think that's gettable.
That's
Yeah.
I think you better get them.
Get a sample of them first. That'd be fucking awesome.
Hey, if we could get ubiquitous on this podcast, you could get Gilbert Godfrey on your fucking song. Never
Man.
say never, Frack. Never say never. All right. How did you decide to veer into battling? Let's get into that.
Yeah. Actually, it continues the story where we left it off. So I did that Youthspeaks MC Olympics thing. And then eventually I went to like the National MC Olympics when I was like 17, I think. And I think it was in Berkeley, or maybe it was I think it was in Berkeley. It happened to be in Berkeley. I also went to one in DC. But the one in Berkeley, one of the judges was this dude, Jamie DeWolf, who, for the deep battle rap fans know, there's an event called Tourette's Without Regrets in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And it happens every first Thursday in Oakland in this big warehouse, like 700, 800 people come through pre-COVID. And it's like this like circus, burlesque, fire, like poetry, comedy, lesbian, like gay culture, black culture, titties out, like blood. Like it's a really weird, wild Oakland type show. And at the end, they have a freestyle rap battle. So this dude, Jamie, was like, hey, you're an amazing freestyler. Let's get you, we'll sneak you into Tourette's Without Regrets. You're too young, but we'll sneak you in so you can be in the freestyle battle. So I went, did that. I was like scared. I'd never done a battle before. I thought of myself more of as like a, conscious rapper or whatever. And then I did the battle, and it was just like so fun. I did this freestyle battle. I was like, this shit is amazing. It's not negative. It's like you're building with someone and like creating this energy. So I did freestyle battles for a while there, maybe a year or two. But I never thought I would do the written battles. I was always a fan of the written battles because it's like I love that shit and I love like fucking words and rhymes and bars. But I never thought I'd do it. But like Dirtbag Dan, kind of like ended up going to Tourette's, and we had a talk, and he's like, you should do this shit. So one thing led to another. I tried out for his league, and I like got randomly escalated in battle rap very quickly just based on the timing of when I joined. And yeah, that's how it
was
kinda...
it. So like, was there like something that like during like battle rap, like you said, it was like very like a big community with it and stuff. It wasn't anything like negative. Was there anything that like ever like hit you to the core where you're like, oh, like that sucked to hear? Like,
yeah, I mean, I like I say this, like I grew up going to fucking Jewish elementary school, and like that's where I like we all roasted the shit out of each other. I feel like I gained tough skin there. So like I wouldn't say I ever got my feelings hurt in battle rap, but I definitely feel like I got my like just people were so negative for no reason. Like people just like fetishize being your enemy. You know what I mean? Like we're just like, I'm not your enemy. We're just doing this like fun little like hobby together. But like people like I have an enemy, and like even like mentors and people you respect like turn things into like a negative dynamic where they want to like hate on you and like see you as their enemy so they can beat you. And like that type of toxic energy is what I hate about battle rap. But for the most part, it's been pretty overwhelmingly positive.
Like from like watching like your stuff, like I'm very new to this. Like Scott's been in this for years.
Dan's our new. He's our like he's on the show with us, but he's very new into rap and battle rap, which is why it's great to have him on, like the introduction. Right. So yeah.
But like that's one thing like I noticed like with like your stuff, it's like more like fun almost. Like you like you could like tell that like with like your energy and stuff, where like people like Disaster or like all these other guys are just like they are yelling, and you can just like tell like that like negative, like it's like scary almost, but like it just takes away from it.
Dan gets scared easily. Ren Thomas,
I do.
Ren Thomas scared the shit out of Dan. Ren Thomas actually apologized to him.
Dan sounds like all my Jewish parents' friends when they watch my back. But you're 100% right, bro. And I think I've always come into this culture with like I want to take myself less seriously than this culture does, rather than people who take this culture more seriously than people take them. Like Disaster is a good example. And like there's a bunch of people who are not as famous as Disaster, who are mini versions of him, who have no reason to be that character of like tough guys, but they think they are because they see Disaster and they see these people they look up to, and they fucking come into battle rap and absolutely just shit the bed, or like they just don't know how to be themselves.
You had a lot of that with Iron Solomon in the mid 2000s. You had a lot of Iron Solomon clones who like tried to come in and do that like aggressive shit, and it's just like it's not you. Just be your fucking self, you know. But you said like you did the Regrets of Tourette's, or sorry, I might be mixing it up. Was there any battlers you grew up watching? Like I've been a fan since like Jump Off, you know, in 06. So like I love the West Coast League. I always like gravitated towards like the league in the West Coast, Satire.
Where are you guys from, by the way?
Jersey.
Jersey. You guys know that the King of the Dot event is in Jersey this weekend?
Yeah, we do. We actually just had Lush One on. He's actually in right now. Yeah, so yeah, he's there. But I don't know if like there's tickets or whatever. Plus, it's on Sunday during football. It's kind of
they lock it up because
we know there's in Jersey, but it's so hard to keep up. There's so many new fucking battlers, man. Like the older you get, it's half of the guys. I don't even know them, and it's like. Man, I wish it was just the vets that I grew up knowing, but that's on me for not keeping up. But was there anyone in the West Coast you grew up like watching, whether it be Dumbfounded or anyone?
SoCon and Dumbfounded were like just so authentically themselves, you know what I mean? And I love their characters, you know what I mean? And they were, you know, they weren't the best like rappers out of the whole league, but they just were just like, I would like chill with these guys, you know, and I kind of came in with that attitude. And then I went down the rabbit hole and discovered Thesaurus and Ilmac and became like bigger fans of like, you know, the actual like people in battle rap. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, out there in the West, man, like, and it hurts being from the East Coast saying this, but like the West Coast was just monsters in like the mid 2000s. Whether it's like fucking No Can Do, incredible.
Oh, yeah,
you had these beasts. Like even the lower level guys, like I can't name. I remember the 07 league, like even Lush and them out there, just amazing. So like you had a lot of shoes to fill, big shoes to fill.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like I want to say in like mainstream hip hop, it's like opposite almost, where the East is represented to be more lyrical than West Coast. But you go battle rap and it's like East Coast can't hold shit against the West Coast.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's because of the freestyle thing, like the West Coast freestyle gene. Like we just like it. Even today, it's like that like spontaneity of like wanting to like be in the moment and create something that like only can be like volcanically erupted in the moment. You can't like plan it. I think that's what the West Coast is known for. But then, you know, I got into the East Coast shit with like Lux and like Goods and Hollow and all these other dudes that I was blown away by them too, you know, and it took that intro through freestyling to realize like, oh shit, like the shit that they're doing lyrically with their pen is also crazy, you know.
Yeah, it's different.
What's wonderful? Sorry,
definitely different styles. Definitely different styles, man. Go on there.
What's like one of like your favorite like in the moment lines that you came up with?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Can I guess? I think your best line is the Christopher Columbus line versus Thesaurus.
Word, but that's not in the moment. Like that's all.
written, freestyle. You know? Okay, like yeah.
In the moment, I've had some good freestyle moments at Tourette's that are like will never be captured on camera, you know. One time I fell off stage and recovered like in the middle of freestyle battle. It was epic. One time I was like battling like it was a white girl and a black dude, right? And it was like the finals of the Tourette's like MC battle. So whoever won this like won the dough. And they were both coming at me. I said some shit like, something down on the floor, like something dropped to the floor. The three of us look like a college brochure. Something like that in the crowd. Went fucking
yeah, multis in on that one too, man. All right.
What's the feeling like before you go on to like a bigger thing, like even the battle against Disaster? Like, what are you feeling before that in that moment?
Like fear, you know what I'm saying? like
oh, really?
honestly, like advice to all the future battle rappers: if you have irritable bowel syndrome, don't do battle rap. You know what I'm saying?
So for the 35 people who watch this, you've heard Frack and listen.
Out of those 35, a great deal have irritable bowel syndrome.
One viewer is like, oh man,
this guy gets.
So Frack, like the way that like Scott was like describing it was like a 1 versus like a 16 seed. So like
1 verse 8. 1 verse 8. Like basically.
Okay.
Master.
Okay. Well, so like
Yeah.
with like going into like a situation like that, like you were saying, like how are you like you're scared? Are you just throwing like your best stuff, like not expecting to go into the next round? And like if you did, like would you just be like screwed because you spent everything on that first round?
I love how you got into it, Dan. Good for you. You're the one who asked the disaster question. I was too scared to. So, disaster, if you're watching this, that's Dan. That's Dan. Go on, Frack.
Right. I'm a number 1 seed. Diz would like that. But yeah, no, Diz was definitely the number 1 seed in the tournament. I felt happy that he was my opponent, though. Like, I was not like, I was shook because it's Diz and he's a fucking monster. But I knew that, number 1, it was a win-win because if I lose, I was supposed to lose. And if I win, it's a huge upset. And number 2, I knew that I possessed certain things that diffuse his style. You know, like my sarcasm, my wit, my ability to even just my size. Like for him to pull all this tough guy shit on me while I'm screaming, like, while I'm here like foul. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't look right. And I think I knew I could play like the mental chess game and kind of strategically plan that underdog effect would work in my favor, I guess, in a way that I think a lot of these other people in the tournament, they couldn't do because their style's also aggressive. And you can't out-aggression Diz. You know what I'm saying? So, in a way, it worked in my favor, I feel like. You feel me?
Frack, I'm going to let Brian – I'm going to let Brian say what he felt about the battle. Go on, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Yo, when you pulled out the second piece of paper when he slapped the first one out of your hand, yo, I laughed so hard at that shit. That was so perfect. Like the planning of that and like how, and even how you're saying now, like, you know, you're not going to try to match him in his aggression. And that was perfect. Like personally, my opinion, and I'm sure you've heard it from a lot of people, you took 2 out of 3 rounds out of that. You won. Like when I was watching the judges talk about who they thought won, I was like, I don't know what battle they're watching. I don't know what they saw. But, I thought you more than held your own in that. Like, and I'm talking about all your bars were hard, like everything perfectly delivered. And like, you were very focused on what you're trying to do. And you didn't let him kind of lead you into a place where you're like, all right, I'm going to get aggressive now. Like you kept your cool the whole time. And that's, to me, it could be about bars, but like for you to keep your cool in those situations, like, that's another big part of it, you know, because the whole battling aspect is also presentation too, like how you're entertaining people, like the whole show of it, you know?
We were actually live texting each other while the battle was happening, and Brian was like, yo, Frack won that round. He won that round. So, like, it's not like we're just saying that now. I have the text to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, 76% of people agree with y'all, so I'm not surprised. Really?
Yeah.
But I appreciate you saying that, Brian. I definitely think, honestly, composure is not one of my strengths in battle rap. Like, there's been times where I feel like I've been shook a little bit or, like, have been, like, kind of thrown off. And my biggest, like, attitude going in was that I can't let this fool throw me off. Like, this is not a fucking intimidating person. This is a 6'5" lyrical miracle who's just gonna be saying silly shit in my face, and I just in my brain framed it all as like, this is silly, this isn't intense, you know what I mean? And I think that framing really helped me, and I think like my defense and composure, like you said, really did like win me the battle, and like my ability to kind of pick at his scabs and like get under his skin and know what was going to tick him off, that built to that graph slap. Like every angle I took, everything I said in the face-off the night before, everything was strategically done to get under his skin and piss him off to the point where I knew he could lose his cool in that moment, and it ended up paying off, you feel me?
How mad would you have been if like the printer didn't work where you were and like the graph didn't print out? Like, would you have ran to like a friend's house and be like, I need a printer right now?
Yeah,
I would have slap it.
Drawn it with crayons. I needed that.
Honestly, when that battle the night before, I was on the phone with somebody who's well respected in the battle community in rap. I won't say his name, maybe after we're recording. And I said, Frack's going to hold his own. The response was, Frack's gonna lose every fucking round. I texted him after this battle. I said, you could say what you want. Frack did not get washed. And he goes, bro, he did so fucking good. It's so close. I don't know who won. I'll tell you the name afterwards. But it is a name you'll respect.
That's awesome.
So Frack, like the one thing that like you've been like blowing up, like especially like within like your area and stuff, like what's really like kept you like grounded this entire time, and then like has like anything like really like, changed from all this?
Damn, what's kept me grounded? I'm not a very grounded person. I'm a spacey ass dude, you know what I mean? So I'm not really grounded anyway. I think that having a girlfriend has helped to keep my ego in check, you know what I mean? But you know, other than that, I've really been in the clouds, just still kind of living in the high of after this. And I mean, it really worked in my favor losing in a sense because I have this album rollout to do on October 22nd, and I had these cartoons to write. So I honestly don't know if I had the capacity to like battle Thesaurus again and like write for like 5 more months of battles for a chance at 50K when I have like money on the table with these cartoons and my music. So the fact that I got out and the whole culture like had this uproar and now like have my back and are like waiting for my next move, I think really worked in my favor, and it's like becoming the weirdest, most innovative album rollout ever. But I'm really excited about the opportunities that are going to come from this. And yeah, I think that was your question, right? So yeah, King of the Dot has definitely offered some really dope opportunities to promote my music on the Twitch stream, have my own show on Twitch. You know, big battles coming up after this tournament, I assume. But I think I'm going to take a little break from the battles and just focus on the music and see if this like overwhelming support post Diz battle can like translate into like you know, good opportunities with the music.
Yeah.
The Doritos commercial. How did that happen?
Randomly, man, they just had this competition to like just make a commercial for Doritos, and the best ones get 10K and get to be on TV. And me and I've kind of been trying to start a little music collective in LA with my homies Jonta Links, super dope band. You guys should check out. And we had been kind of doing videos where we like sample household objects and like make beats out of them. Like they did a whole quarantine one where they sampled like toilet paper and like medicine tablets and shit. So we had kind of already been like visualizing doing videos like this where you sample an inanimate object and turn it into a beat. So it was kind of like a natural thing. Like, let's just do this for a bag of Doritos. And it really, yeah, it was just like, it worked well. And I was surprised we won, but it was definitely worth it.
Did they have like parameters around that? Because I feel like Cool Ranch Doritos don't get the love that they deserve.
Yeah, we should have done.
Deserve love.
Are you kidding me? Most underrated chip.
Yeah, that's the best one.
It's nacho cheese or die, Dan.
This is what we really should have done: a nacho cheese versus Cool Ranch rap.
Hey, there's still
that would've been
time.
awesome.
You did ketchup and mustard. Go for the fucking.
Hey, Doritos, hit me up. I need another 10K.
They're not watching.
TruExact Radio. So.
They're not watching this. I appreciate it.
There's a Doritos CEO right now. This is my favorite podcast.
Sell.
Eric, were you gonna ask a question?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's songs where obviously all of us like 9 to 5 people are just on our way to work. Like, fuck, I really don't feel like doing this right now. Are there? And when you go to a battle or you go to the studio, you have to bring it 100%. How do you not feel those blues, or are you excited every time when you're going? Or if you're not into it, and I have to face disaster, am I like, what are you, shotgun Red Bulls? Or like, what do you do?
That's a really good question, bro. Honestly, I'm so thankful I don't have to have a 9 to 5 and that I like get to do something that I love. Like I really try not to take that for granted, and that really helps, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I love this. I do think if I were have to do this tournament month after month, a battle every month, I would have been fucking miserable and would have felt those blues, because I can only do 2 battles a year at most, bro. This shit is like it's exhausting. It takes your whole body, mind, soul. You have to put everything into it. So battle rap, I don't do it for the love. I do it for the promotion of my music and my brand. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing like that feeling of being in the ring and that adrenaline when you get something off and you kill it. Like that feeling is like unmatched. But yeah, when I'm going to the studio or working on a skit or working on these cartoons, the only thing that's going in my mind is like how lucky am I that I get to do this shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it probably doesn't feel like work at all.
Oh.
You know, it's great.
Not many people feel like that. That's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
What's great though, what you said is you only do 2 a year. Pat Stay mentioned something like this. There's so many battlers who would be legacies if they did less battles.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like when someone like M doesn't tour that much, so when he tours, holy shit, I gotta go see him. Like when you make yourself like what's it, high demand, low demand, what is it?
Yeah, hard to get. You play hard to get.
Right. So if you only battle twice a year, it's like I have to watch Pat Stay, Disaster, Frack, or whoever the hell it is. If you battle every fucking month and I like him, I'm just throwing out like a DNA. He has like 1 million battles.
Yeah.
It becomes like, all right, well, I could catch him next month.
You oversaturate your brand. And I get it because a lot of these fools want to be professional battle rappers. And in order to make a living from battle rap where you can feed your kids, you got to battle every weekend. Because you're getting like 4 racks and you gotta keep it going. And I love their grind and I respect that. But you're oversaturating your brand in a way that it'd be more beneficial for your brand in the long run to find another hustle, to do music, to do a podcast. You know, Geechee Gotti has like a podcast. Pat Stay has his skits. Like to find another lane so the battles can feed into that and another stream of revenue. Because imagine if I like beat Diz, right? And like everyone's like saying you got robbed, you beat Diz, like Frack's like amazing, blah blah. Then I get back in the fucking tournament and I take a bad L and I choke. All that fame goes down the toilet because they're like, we don't fuck with Frack anymore. He's a one-hit wonder, you know. What I mean?
Yeah.
Battle fans are fickle, so in order to maintain that aura, you have to like only do things. And I've been criticized for this, that I only take battles when I feel it's beneficial for me, when I feel like it's like good for my brand. I'm like, hell yeah, you're absolutely right. Like that's definitely what I'm gonna do, and all battle rappers should do that because at the end of the day, this is your brand and image, and you should take that shit serious.
Right.
Yeah,
like
you know what? That's the majority of the time. That's people criticizing who are not in your position. They couldn't even fathom it. Right. Where they're in a position like what Eric was saying, where they're driving 9 to 5 and they're like, "Fuck, I hate this job," and then they look at someone like you and you're like, "Nah, I'm not gonna battle." How the fuck could he turn that down? Is he stupid? Like, nah, you don't get it. You're not in that spot.
That was the biggest New York accent, Brian, you could have done. The
stupid. What are you fucking stupid? Like you're
fucking stupid. Frack.
Mr. B, big fan of the show.
Frack, all right, your new stuff coming out before we get to like our last segment, gun to your head, unless they have any other questions. What's your new stuff coming out? Promote your shit, the B-list celebrities.
Yeah. So it's actually, we just got an album release date. It's October 22nd. I'm partnering up with, I was saying, Zion I, who's like a Bay Area icon. He has his own little label on Empire, which is a bigger label. So it's my first kind of like label release. It's like, yeah, every song's named after a different B-list celebrity. We're going to drop it October 22nd. Hopefully do like an album release party, socially distant on Twitch. So perform the album in totality. But yeah, there's going to be a music video for every song. We have 3 music videos so far. The Chameleonaire one's going to drop during Disaster vs. Thesaurus stream. We're going to like premiere on that stream.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, and then from then on, we're going to drop we have a music video for Aubrey Plaza and then one for Fergie, and then we still got to do one for Gilbert Gottfried. But yeah, if y'all want to follow me on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, it's just Frack and at Frak the Person.
Now, were there any B-list celebrities you have written on that someone had to correct you and be like, nah, that's an A-list celebrity?
Yeah, like most of the ones on the album, honestly. But A-list celebrity is just not a hot mixtape name.
It doesn't work out. Yeah. No,
hold on, I got one more question.
Go on, yeah.
What is that small red vest in the background?
That is adorable.
A fire vest?
This isn't my home, but let's check it out.
It blows up when he rips.
The bookshelf moves.
Yeah. It looks like
Is that a Power Rangers vest?
Oh.
A Native American ensemble.
I'm worried this is some type of kink. I'm gonna put it back.
Yeah. Look at Frak touching little children's clothing. All right, Frak. We like to do this thing at the end of our shows. It's called Gun to Your Head. It's like a would you rather this or that type thing. But we like to take pride in there's a little wordplay involved. It's not just Coke or Pepsi type stuff, okay? And you pick a winner. So at the end of these, you pick like your favorite question. And we keep kind of a score on these, so there's a lot of pressure on you, all right? There's 2 questions each. Are you ready? You nervous?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, Dan, you start this off. Go on.
Okay. Would you rather have a lifetime supply of Cool Ranch Doritos or live on a Cool Ranch?
That's interesting. Dan's getting better at these week by week.
Yes.
Hey, to the CEO watching this from Doritos, I apologize. I don't want to be two-faced, but I don't really fuck with Doritos. I did it for the 10K.
Awesome. You didn't have to say all that, but
I love it. Imagine Eric is the CEO of Doritos.
Secretly.
So I'm gonna definitely take that Cool Ranch. That sounds lit. I'll definitely live on a Cool Ranch. I think there's just so many ways to envision a cool ranch. You know what I mean? I have my own vision of it, so I'm down.
All right.
All right. And then for Halloween, would you rather be Frankenstein or Count Fracula?
Speaking of my pops, he told me that when he was in college, he had a show called DJ Fracula.
That's amazing.
So I'm gonna go with that and respect his legacy.
Solid.
I'll go next. Now, Frak, would you rather star in Caddy Shack or be Shaq's caddy?
that's good.
I'd rather be Shaq's caddy. I feel like me and Shaq, if we got in a room together, our golf course together, we would hit it off, and I could finesse some collaborations with Shaq. Maybe bring him back to the rap game.
When was the last time he was in the rap game?
He's a DJ though. He's a DJ.
He's a DJ. He's a DJ. He's got a show. He does movies, ads. We could figure out something.
We'll tag him in this, and he won't see it, but it's worth a shot. So, all right, last one from me. Would you rather own all your family's ties or own all the DVDs of Family Ties?
That's a bar.
Thank you.
Worst response. Thank you.
I don't even know what that means, so joke's on you.
That'd be him if he's in a battle, like in the crowd. Thank you,
The
guys.
crowd goes crazy. Points for the boy.
I'm gonna go with my family's ties because my grandpa was worked in like the Amazon in Peru, fucking up animals and shit. So I'm sure he had some crazy ties.
And that'd be great too, because you have control over all of them. Man, I really need a tie for the wedding. Yeah, it's gonna cost you a little bit. Eric, you're up.
All right. For 1 year, would you rather get drunk from Sailor Jerry's every night or have a pirate roommate named Jerry?
I need to know more about this fool. Like,
He's a pirate. He's a legit pirate.
Like a Somalian pirate?
Arg and all that. And his name is Jerry, and he needs a place to stay, and he's your roommate.
but day to day, is he pirating or is he just kicking it?
I don't know. He's just
Pillaging?
He has a year off, and he's just, he's got the boots and the claw and the bird. He's just walking around your apartment, just like, all right, I can't wait to go to the city.
Who would give him that?
He's on a pirate sabbatical. He's still
Yeah. He's like COVID-19. We can't be too close together. Yeah,
so I'm gonna be your roommate randomly.
yeah, you just think Jerry seems nice.
Get drunk off Sailor Jerry's every night?
Every night. You got to get drunk off it every night for a year, or live with Jerry the pirate for a year.
Wow. That's a tough one, man. Because I feel like drinking Sailor Jerry's every night would be terrible. Like, it would be unhealthy.
We're trying to sleep in here and
Is that your peg leg impression?
too.
Can you make a drawing of this pirate, if somehow that's possible?
This is the longest one ever.
Yeah.
You gotta pick, Frack. You gotta pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna live with the pirate. I fucked with that one. That sounds right.
Eric, second one.
That's awesome. Okay. Would you rather be the best person to ever freestyle or wear any style for free forever?
You know, I'll say this. I feel like I'm like in the top 30 like freestylers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to like get any better, I don't think it would make too much of a difference in my life. You know what I mean? Like people who are really good at freestyling, it's almost like sad because like I feel like I could easily dedicate my life to like being a good freestyler, but it's like I think it's a shitty existence, you know? Like the only things you can do a freestyle battle or like freestyle online. It's kind of like it's kind of what's the word, or something that's kind
Like
of
niche.
gimmicky. It's gimmicky, you know what I mean? It's gimmicky, and I love freestyling, but if I were any better, I love music way more. So I'm gonna go with wearing any style for free because you could just you could wear anything. That'd be amazing.
Or Yeezys.
What a hell of a 4 questions you got, and Brian's last, but you own your family's ties, you have any style for free, and now you live with a pirate.
Yeah.
That
Brian,
bumble is lit.
yeah, on a cool ranch too.
On a cool ranch.
Brian, add to his story. Go on.
All right.
It's like Mad Libs.
Would you rather be 1 in a million or always beat 1,000,000 to 1 odds?
Whoa. Be 1 in a million. When you say be 1 in a million, like be unique.
Be unique, yeah. 1 in a million, like just the phrase 1 in a million.
But when you say always be 1 in a million, like in everything.
No, always beat 1,000,000 to 1 odds.
No, but the first one was always be 1 in a million.
Yeah, would you rather be 1 in a million or always beat 1,000,000 to 1 odds? So like a special outstanding person or like a regular.
You can talk all you want, Brian. You can chalk this one up as an L.
The second one's better.
So, but when you say always be 1 in a million, does that mean in everything you try you're hella unique, or you're just in general?
Yeah, like all around in life, every aspect.
So that means you can beat the odds. You're already going to beat the 1 in a million odds because you're already 1 in a
I
million.
must say, you are the son of a scientist. You're like, what is going on here?
Frack, the best part before you got on, true story, Brian goes, I got gun to your head questions. No way I'm going to.
No, I said one. I said one of them. I said the one might be shitty.
Wait, so what? Wait, I have to decide who's were the shittiest at the end of this?
No. The best. But you got to answer this 1 in a million questions.
Going down that road, though.
Trophy.
Okay. I agree with my boy Dan. I was going to say, nowhere in being 1 in a million does it imply that you don't beat 1 to million odds. So I'm going to take the being 1 in a million and just hope that I beat the odds just by being lit.
Positivity, my man.
Brian, you better save yourself on this one, man.
Would you rather?
Would you rather have to cheese grade your food every time you eat, or be a professional cheese grater?
Like grading how good cheese is?
Yes.
Like
I ruined it.
wait. like you're like a cheese taster who gives
fondue.
It's like,
Munster, an A.
I give it like an that's what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question then, because that's my actual like backup career choice. Like if this rap shit goes bad, I want to masquerade in like the cheese tasting world and like go around like I'm a huge fan of cheese.
Hold on, is this true? That's like, this is legit. You're saying this is true?
Mean, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know if it's possible, but I love cheese. So if
what's your favorite cheese? Like, what's your go-to?
My go-to? No, probably. I'd probably say Gouda cheese. I'm a big fan of Manchego, Havarti, goat cheese.
I think you and Dan would get along.
I love cheese. I
Just eating
freaking
cheese
I'm
together.
down for some cheese.
Just eating cheese.
I
talking
can
about
always
rap
eat some
music.
cheese.
So
Might not be in the rapping, but I love me some cheese.
Yeah, the mozzarella stick is just stretching with the cheese between the two.
yeah, this is how you're gonna get into hip hop, bro, through cheese.
You'll be the
but-
cheesy rapper. All right.
But yeah, I'm definitely going with the grating of cheese.
Professional cheese grater.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Frack. So hopefully we can eliminate Brian from this.
Yeah.
That was the longest.
I'll see myself out.
No, fuck no, dude. You asked my favorite question. You've made me think about cheese.
No
You're
way.
definitely-
So you won?
Are you
Wait, so he
thinking
won?
of the victory?
Wait, so I choose a winner?
Who
Yeah,
had the
you gotta
best
choose a winner.
question? Not necessarily cheese related, but the best question. Like pirate.
Another cheese-related victory.
The best question or the person with
Yeah.
the best questions?
Person with the best questions, overall winner.
Oh wow, they were all terrible.
We get that a lot.
Every time.
Everyone had one really bad one
Right. Which one stuck out?
as being really bad.
No, really good.
It's the best of the worst. Let's go for it.
Best of the worst.
Damn.
I'm nervous. This is
I'm
like the
very
most
nervous,
intense
too.
this has been.
Yeah.
What? Okay, the Sailor Jerry's question was bad. What was your other one?
Was bad? I thought that was good. Oh, my other one was the freestyle one. I had the Sailor Jerry's.
Oh, that was interesting. Okay.
And I had the family ties and the Caddy Shack one.
The
And I
cat.
had the Dracula one or the Cool Ranch one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. The
But I
Dracula.
got you to say you lived with a pirate for a year, so I feel like that's kind of no.
Really selling them on it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do the unthinkable. I'm gonna give it to my boy Brian.
That's
People
ridiculous.
slept on Brian. You know.
That's
what I mean?
ridiculous. This is under fucking
For
protest.
the win.
This is under protest. You go back, you watch the Sean Latham $20 chef interview. There's a very similar cheese grating question. Very similar question.
One.
You're
That
challenging the call.
This is under protest. Anyone who's
Can't
watching,
Just like yours. Frack is under protest.
under fucking protest. You go back, anyone watching, to the Barstool $20 chef
Very
Sean
on
Latham
point.
guy we interviewed. My question, the cheese grade, that is a very similar question. I refuse to give him the victory. Thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. I hope you had a
Yeah,
good
man.
time, man.
Yeah, this was fun, boys. Stay in touch. Follow me at Frak the Person. Good talking with all y'all.